Morning everyone, and welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we discuss all things entrepreneurship and running. It is a very wet morning, but it feels like about freezing degrees out here, but there's not too much wind, so a kind of a light misty style rain, but I'm going to do a longer run today, so not too bad conditions. It's Sunday run day today, where we discuss all things running, and today's topic is the app Strava. So remember, if you like this video, please remember to give it a like and please subscribe, and let's get started. So Strava, it's the runner's companion app, probably the most popular running app out there for kind of the more novice or amateur runner, I'd say. You don't get too many kind of professional athletes on it, well, not that I've noticed anyway, but it's like the Facebook of running apps basically. It's there for social purposes. It's there to kind of give each other, slap on the backs, well done for running type of side of things. But it's also an incredibly good way of storing all of your running data, i.e. it just logs how many runs you've done. You can put all sorts of different activities into it as well. So if you're a triathlete, for example, you might log your swimming miles, your cycling miles, running. You can do all sorts of different workouts, hiking, all sorts on it. So it's a great way of tracking all of your activities that you do on a daily basis, and it keeps a record of them, so you can look back at them over the end of each year and historically how many miles you've run over the course of time. There's a really cool Facebook post by I think he was early 60s in one of the running Facebook groups that I'm within, and he's been logging his data obviously for a long time, because I think he clocked 39,000 odd running miles over the past X number of years, 30 or 40 years, and that equates to running around the world twice. So that's pretty cool, and that's the power of having something that you can kind of log your mileage in on an ongoing basis. It is a lot more than that, and I don't want to do it an injustice, because there are lots of serious athletes that do use it as well, but the serious athletes will generally have a more kind of bespoke piece of running, not bespoke, but a more advanced running app that they'd use, but then they'll potentially sync across to Strava. So I don't actually use Strava to record my running activities. I've always found it slightly inaccurate, I've got like my own heart rate monitor, a polar heart rate monitor that sits on my arm there. I have a Stride power adapter on my shoe that picks up cadence and power and a lot more accuracy in the kind of GPS, because it's actually moving with the foot. So as opposed to something on your watch where, okay, it's shaking a little bit like this, but the foot is actually telling the software how much distance I'm actually doing. It's matching it with the GPS signals, and I just find it far more accurate. In the same regard to the heart rate monitor is better than the kind of wrist heart rate monitor that Strava would generally use. I'm not sure I think there's some, with the kind of mainstream running apps, there's lots of kind of automations or syncing up with other pieces of softwares and integrations that, if they're not right for a runner that's doing it a little bit more seriously, it's a bit frustrating, which is why people will go for kind of Garmin's and Polars of this world. I use an Apple Watch linked to my Stride app, but I have multiple pieces of kind of third-party tech which all feeds into the Apple Watch, and the Apple Watch can handle all of that information coming in simultaneously. So but for the beginner or somebody who just wants to log something in some way, people that are still taking their smartphone running with them, the Strava app is perfect to kind of get started with. So going through Strava, it's a lot more than just recording your runs as well. I mean, the data it kind of churns out, and how you can kind of report on with that data, it's impressive. How you can look at kind of weekly training plans. It's a kind of a one-stop concierge service for runners, I suppose. If you're looking in that regard, you've got loads of different independent communities, clubs and stuff. For races will have their own Strava accounts, so you can kind of be kept in the loop on updates, and you can share kind of communication with people that are doing the same events as you, those types of things. The training centre, if you pay for the subscription side of things, which I do, you get all of the kind of training plan options. You get a lot more data to kind of report on, although I must say, even the free version, you get loads of data, so it's really cool. You can look at your weekly training logs. There's loads of stuff you can kind of do with the data, and it also has its own map center as well, where you can create your own routes, save them, share them with others, which is really cool and sociable. And you've also got segments, which if you're competitive, is brilliant, because ultimately you can have these little segments that you set up around your different running routes. People can find them and can compete with you on time on that segment. So really, really cool. And you've also got stuff that rewards local legends or people that do the same route over and over and over again, get a status for running that route more than anybody else, which again is really, really cool. So it is an amazing app, but it is a little bit social media like. I used to be very engaged in it. I use it now just to log all my runs. It syncs with my it does sync with Apple Health as well, but I have my other apps syncing with it, my Apple Health, so all my stuff's logged on my health ID. But it's a brilliant app. I mean, there's no way it's got something for everyone in there, and I think you can follow anybody can follow you. You can remove people and stuff that you can with kind of standard social media apps and that side of things. But the communication's brilliant. So, if you've done a really hard run, people can see how hard you've worked. They can see your heart rate. They can see that, and they can give you, well done. It makes you feel really good. Makes you want to keep running. It holds you accountable. But at the same time, if you've had a really bad run, people often get concerned about putting it out there, but people jump on and support you and say, hey, how you doing? Hope you didn't get injured. Let's hook up for a run. All these types of things. If you're in running clubs, it's great to have kind of running clubs set up on there as well, so you can see all of your other running club members, what training they're doing. So if you have a bit of a rival, you can clock what they're doing and try and ensure you don't fall too far behind. But it's not just for competitiveness, it's just it's something for everyone, whatever stage of running you're at, and it will ultimately, hopefully keep you running, and that's the name of the game if you look at it. But it's got so much. The other thing it's got a beacon as well, so you can share your beacon when you're running. So if you're doing a major event, you can share your beacon with people, and they can track and see exactly where you are running at any given point in time. So again, that's really cool as well. So it's just, they constantly add things. Okay, I seem to get most of them because I'm a paid subscriber, but I'll support Strava because of how good the app is. And okay, they've got a huge volume of free users, but I'm quite happy continuing to subscribe to an amazing app, because I see so many new developments and new additions they keep bringing to the table, which is amazing. So look, I'm not the most avid Strava user, so hopefully this review, it's not really a review as such, but it's to give people who have never used it a bit of a kind of understanding of what it can be used for. And there's going to be plenty of other people who know how to use Strava better than I. So that's my disclaimer. But I did want to talk about it because it is an app that I use, even though it's more syncing my running data to it rather than using it independently. But I do from time to time flick in and out and look at key people and see what their training's been like and all those side of things, which is a little bit of running espionage, similar to Facebook stalking and that side of it. It's quite good to see what people are doing that have made big improvements, and you can kind of get ideas from that as well. So there's loads of cool stuff you can kind of take from it. So if I was to summarise what Strava does for anybody who's not used it, one, it is basically social media for running. It's amazing for accountability, in that once you start building up a bit of a following and you follow a few people, engaging with them, giving each other kudos, which is the equivalent of a thumbs up or a like on other social platforms when you do a run, just seeing the volume of thumbs ups that comes in every time you do a run keeps you wanting to do more. And you kind of think that if I don't do a run, then someone's going to miss it. So it's that accountability side which is so powerful. It will log all of your running data. It is a running app as well, so it will record your runs whilst you're doing it using the app, but you can also sync to it as well, which is pretty cool. So it's really flexible to kind of use it. There's training plans and stuff you can tap into. There's a load of training data as well that you can pull up on yourself to kind of see how you've been training compared to previous weeks, months, years, etc. So really cool. It will log all your PBs, which is also super useful when you want to refer back to what PBs you've had. There's segments and competitions and stuff you can kind of get involved in. There's running groups, clubs, events you can all register where you can share and engage with people doing the same events or similar clubs, etc. So it is an amazing app, and it's certainly one of my top apps, even though that I don't use it as much as I used to use it, because you can waste a lot of time scrolling through the feed. It is one of my favourite apps because it keeps you involved in a running community regardless, and I think that's really important for maintaining continuity in running. So that's pretty much it from me on this topic. Hopefully it's been useful. Look, as I said, my disclaimer is there'll be many people that use Strava more in depth than I do that can give much better reviews on it, but this is for people who've never used the app, that are considering using it, and I think it just gives a good overview and an understanding to what the app can do and how they can integrate it into their running life. So as always, got any questions or comments on this, drop me a line. If it's a bigger topic, I'll do a separate episode and I'll tag you in. As always, if this is irrelevant to you, just unfollow. But before you do, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel Runpreneur, whereby all these episodes are nicely catalogued by playlist topic. So hopefully, if this one is not relevant, there'll be some other stuff that's relevant to you that you can dip in and out of at some point in the future for free. And finally, check in on the Facebook Runpreneur group as well, where all the free resources that accompany this vlog will be hosted, and hopefully there's some good stuff in there that's going to help you on your journey, either in running or entrepreneurship. So that's it for me. As always, the Runpreneur vlog was set up to help entrepreneurs, business owners overcome those emotions of stress, anxiety and overwhelm, that by using kind of exercise as a mechanism to control, manage and thrive under these emotions that every single entrepreneur and business owner experiences. And it's often the difference between success and failure, how well that entrepreneur deals with these emotions. The ones that do it well thrive under the pressure. You know, they manage it, they've got clarity and focus where they're going, and they move on to bigger and better things. The ones that don't, that potentially suffer with entrepreneurial pride, and they don't want to talk about their problems and their issues, they bottle things up, and as a result pressure builds and builds, and then usually one of two things happens, and that's either the entrepreneur breaks down or the business breaks down. Either or is often going to be terminal to the likelihood of your business lasting the test of time. So I've been there. I've struggled with entrepreneurial pride more than many. I've lost businesses because of it. I've lost business partners because of it. I've been rock bottom because of it. And I finally feel now that I've got this kind of setup in my life that enables me to manage and control these emotions far more effectively. And as a result, I feel far more in control, and I've taken on more than I've ever taken on before, and I feel much better for it. So my pledge to you is, if you are one of the entrepreneurs struggling with these entrepreneurial pride issues of dealing with these emotions, drop me a message. I've had entrepreneurs do this already, and there's no catch to this whatsoever. There's no sale, no nothing. I'll just jump on a call with you. We'll have a short call where I can hopefully give you some guidance for some implementable steps into your life that will just get you to start taking control of it again. Understanding where you are, understanding what you need to do, understanding how to manage these emotions more effectively, and hopefully get you back on the pathway to success. And I always said, if this vlog just saves one entrepreneur or one business, it's been 1,000,000% worthwhile. So, like I say, don't let entrepreneurial pride stop you doing this. Okay, so that's it for me today. As always, if you like this video, please give it a like and a subscribe. If you want to see similar content, please check out the playlist link below. And I'll always end this in the same way because it's such an important message. Stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.